Okay, we are live this morning. Um, well, this is it. Today is May the 13th, the day of the AP exam. Um, and so it has come to us. And so, yeah, number one, I was conferencing or texting yesterday with Miss Croman. I'm sure most of you remember her. And she said that a number of her students were having trouble and panicking because it was taking too long to log on and et cetera, et cetera. Please look, I sent you out a thing on assignments this morning. There's a thing on there about if you have trouble logging on, that, you know, you will log on eventually. Don't panic and all those kinds of things. So, there's where that is. We're not going to be on long today. Whatever hay has been gathered, it's in the barn now. And so what I did want to talk about, though, very briefly, is, of course, attacking the exam itself, attacking the rubric. Just knowing the route to take can save you a lot, can maybe score you an easy point, make the difference between a 2 and a 3, on the score, or, 4 or 5 or whatever. But yeah. And so once again, let's have a look at Uncle Tom's Dbq rubric, because I do think it's the most simple rubric. Now, talk about context. I'm not even going to mention Star Wars and, the scrolling thing, but you're given a question. And the first thing you do is read the question. Understand what the question wants. Is it a question that asks for a change in continuity over time? Is it a question that asks you to compare A to B? Contrast and compare how they are different, how they are alike. Is it a question that shows, I just can't imagine that it won't be some kind of question that asks you to judge change over time. But it could well be. I mean, they don't let me, I don't get any input into what the question is. But yeah, so you find out, what does the question want? Okay. And as you read that, you might jot down ideas of things that you already know about that question. That can come in handy, both prior to the question, leading into the question. Oh yeah, another type of question that they might use is causation. This caused that. Okay. And so, yeah, you jot down ideas of what you already know about the question, and by ideas, I don't mean long drawn out things. I mean 3, 4, 5 words that will remind what's already in your head. And then you read the documents. You can print out the documents if you want, or hopefully you can put them up on split screens. And you can say, document 2 agrees with document 5. It says the same thing. Because once again, you want to group the documents. This basically should be a 4-paragraph essay. 4. Basically. Is there any rule against having one paragraph? No. Is there any rule against having 6 paragraphs? No. But, I think you should be able to get it done in 4. And so then you read the documents. And once again, when you read the documents, read what the document source is. No matter if it's a quotation from a speech, or it's a cartoon, or it's a map, where did this thing come from? You see, because that can get you some cheap points in, sourcing the document when you go to explain the document as far as where it came from. And that's a good thing to include. So where did the document, that's the first thing, who said this? And, not just who by name, but what was their official capacity, if they had one. At what time was the document issued, published or whatever. Even a map can have a source, because, maps, like anything else, can be manipulated. And so, yeah, you read that first, and then you read the document. And that's when you begin to decide document 2 agrees with document 4, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So you've read the documents, and now you're ready to begin going after the question. Once again, the first thing, your first paragraph should have 2 points in it, beginning with the context. And like I said, I won't go into that whole Star Wars thing, but, the context. What is the background for the question? Where did it come from? And you can reach back in history for this, but don't reach back too far, and don't be too general. Make your context specific to the question. For example, and it won't be, if the question deals with women's rights, how were women treated? You can go back into the Middle Ages. You could actually make quick reference to since the dawn of time, since women have been having children. It has been somehow decided that women's role in society was inferior. That because she was burdened with childbirth, it was believed that women, that was their primary function, and they could only do that. That women did not attain power throughout most of the Middle Ages. You could say that, but somehow contextualizing it. If it's about changes brought by the Industrial Revolution, you could talk about. You need to talk about what happened prior to the Industrial Revolution. I'm going to shut that off. Get back to me. Anyway, yes. Prior to the Industrial Revolution. And just, you want to talk about, and don't short yourself here. 2-3 sentences. 2-3 sentences. With the leaning towards a 3. That's context. Then you get to your thesis point. Your thesis point responds to the prompt, meaning answers the question. It is a forecasting by you of what you're going to say in the rest of the paper. You answer the question with your answer and be specific. And here's where you use the documents. You say, the question goes this way. You believe that the majority of the documents, and the right answer is this. I think don't say I think. The right answer is this. And as depicted by this and this and this. But let's go for the complexity point. But There were also differing strains of thought that held that the other thing was true. Because once again, your documents hardly ever, documents hardly ever, simply all five of them will agree with each other. That just doesn't happen. I mean, your documents are going to tell you which way to go. So yeah, your topic, your thesis answers the question, and you tell the reader, I'm going to attack the question by talking about this, this, and this. But on the other hand, there was an undercurrent. There also were those who felt that this and this. So yeah. Then we begin talking about the documents. And this is your middle two paragraphs of your paper. One paragraph of documents that agree with each other, and then another paragraphs of documents that don't agree with the first group. Group them together, and say you get a point for simply saying what each document says. So that's an easy point to get. What does the document say? What does the document say? And so then you go on and you support. Not only does what the document say, but what does that say vis-a-vis, what does that say about your thesis? How does this document support your thesis? You have to get total 2 points. You have to do that for 4 documents. You have to say, what does this document say about my thesis? Does it support it? To what degree? For 4 documents. Do it for 5 documents. Do it for 5 documents, because there's always a chance, and I don't care how smart we all think we are, that we could misinterpret one of the documents. That's why they give you 5. It's an insurance policy. So do it for all 5 documents. Okay, that's worth 2 points. And then finally, regarding the documents, source each of the documents. Who said it? And once again, who, not just his name, but who, what position did he occupy, if he occupied a position. That's one way. Another way is, who's he talking to? Who's his audience? Because people change their story according to which audience they're addressing. And why did he say it? Is he saying it in his own personal journal? Is he saying it as part of a campaign speech? Is he saying it in a personal letter to a friend? You see. And so, yeah, and do that, once again, the baseline is 4, do it for 5 documents. Oh, actually, you only have to do it, do it for 5 documents. Okay. Then we get to the outside information points. This is your nerd point. If you can come up with some information that is relevant to the argument, and I think you should put this in paragraph 4, is relevant to the argument, but is not included in the documents or it doesn't appear anywhere else, then put that in there. And you can do that twice and get 2 points for that. And finally, of course, your complex understanding point. Once again, for that, I like you explain both similarity and differences, both continuity and change, or multiple causes or causes and effects. Or I like the old synthesis point, where you say, you know what, this same question happened at another place in time in history, and you got to be specific here, and do not say This was like Adolf Hitler. Do not say that, because immediately in the reader's mind, they've been red flagged. This and everything is not like the Holocaust. You know, find something else where there's a real parallel in history, and you're not limited to European history here. You know, you can do history from other parts of the world for that final point. And that's all I have for you as far as that goes. Don't worry about the exam. I compare taking the AP exams to drowning, being thrown in the water where you're over your head. If, when you're thrown in the water where you're over your head, if you panic, you will drown. You will die. Now, if you don't panic, you may well die anyway. But at least if you don't panic, if you remain calm, you have a fighting chance. But if you panic, it's no use. I mean, it's lost. So focus on the task at hand. Throw your best pitch. That's all you can do. I mean, that's all you can do is do your best. And then, it's all over. And feel good that you did your best. And you should feel good. I mean, you guys, all of you, and I know that the great majority of you are taking the AP exam, but I'm also talking to those who aren't taking the AP exam. You have completed an AP course. You have completed a college level course. Fact of the matter is, when I go to Kansas City and they have these question answer sessions, they say that they find that for most AP classes in high school, the high school AP class is often harder than that same class when they give it in college. It's often more demanding, you see. And so, congratulations for completing a college level course. It will now go on your resume. It will look good on your resume. It will get you into a good program. It will advance your life. I was talking with a senior yesterday, and I was so excited because she got accepted to Berkeley in California. I mean, that's incredible. And I will guarantee you that part of the reason she was accepted into Berkeley was because when she was at Ryle, she challenged herself to take hard courses. I don't know if she passed all of her AP exams, but she got into Berkeley. And I know that, and my teaching notwithstanding or whatever, what was important was this young person challenged themselves to take the AP courses, to take the hard route. I love all my students, but going forward, here are my words of advice. I'm not sure that taking dual credit will get you into Berkeley. Or, I'm a fan. If you're a good student, take AP. Burden yourself. Give yourself a hard job. But that's, in the end, that's up to you. Last thing, we're up at almost 20 minutes now. It has been my great honor and my great pleasure to have you all in class. See you every day. People like you, and I don't know if this makes a difference to you, but I will tell you anyway. People like you are the reason why I am not just sitting there waiting to retire. There are teachers who just can't wait to retire. Me, I have you. You know, I have you. I have students who say good morning. I have students who show effort. I have students who, have good hearts. And, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to spend 6 months or 7 months with you guys anyway. And then, of course, online. And good luck to you on this exam. Good luck to you. You're going to be fine. Do your best. And with that, this is me signing out.